Just so you understand how spineless the UK government is when it comes to dealing with Israel. The Sumud flotilla yesterday was attacked by drones. In response, the far-right government of Italy has dispatched a frigate, a military vessel, to monitor the Sumud flotilla and ensure safe passage. Why did they do this? Because there are Italian citizens within the flotilla. 3 British aid workers were murdered by the IOF in 2024. Since then, the UK Prime Minister has entertained the war criminal Isaac Herzog in number 10 Downing Street. Gideon Saar, the Foreign Affairs Minister for Israel, was entertained by the then Foreign Affairs Secretary David Lammy. Scipio Tavelli has been front and center in celebrations, including members of the UK cabinet. The families of the aid workers that were murdered complained of receiving just empty excuses. And Italy, that is run at this moment by a far-right government on the threat alone, sent a frigate to monitor the situation. It almost makes you wonder if there is any reason why the government is so beholden to the arms industry, to the Israeli lobby, on a completely different and unrelated topic. Have you heard about a think tank called Labour Together? It was a think tank that was headed by the not very popular Morgan McSweeney, the current Chief of Staff of the UK Prime Minister, political strategist with connections to the man that he'd later on influenced Keir Starmer to appoint to the position of UK Ambassador, Lord Mandelson. The guy who had to resign because he was friends with Epstein, best friends, I might add. So it turns out that whilst being at the head of Labour Together, a place in which he worked with our current Home Office Secretary, Shabana Mahmood, who by the way vouched for his character, he failed to declare to the Electoral Commission £730,000 worth of donations. Clerical error of £730,000. Now, where did these donations come from? Well, one of the people who donated to Labour Together was Trevor Chin. Sponsors not only Labour Together, but also the Labour Front of Israel. You know, that organization that seems to have as members the heads of the most important cabinets in the country. So our friend Morgan is now being accused of fraud. Of course, this is completely unrelated to the first topic that I was speaking about. Also unrelated is that Quadrature Capital, a hedge fund that donated £4 million to the Labour Party, has a ton of investments in the weapons industry. Funny that.